We're back in 2008. I just beat Dead Space in 2021, but fuck it, let's drop a review in 2022. Let's talk about it, dudes. With the news of EA Resurrection, the Dead Space franchise, with a brand new remake, I decided I needed to get in on the action and play the original and see what the fuss was all about and what made it so great. I also have plans to play Dead Space Ignition, Dead Space 2, and 3, but I'm going to be honest here with Lost Ark around the corner and a bunch of other games on my plate and slash making YouTube content. I'm not sure when I'll get around to that. With that all said, let's get into what y'all clicked on the video for. Dead Space is a 2008 survival horror video game developed by EA Redwood Shores and published by Electronic Arts for the PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, and Microsoft Windows. Released in October 2008. I guess I'm just going to say that twice, 3 times during the video. I played this version thanks to the Game Pass on my Xbox One X, and the title was in the first of the Dead Space franchise, which drew inspiration from other works of horror, notably Resident Evil 4 and Silent Hill. So let's get into like a brief overview of the game's premise, the plot. So it sets and it takes place on a mining spaceship overrun by monsters called the Necromorphs. The players control engineer Isaac Clarke from a third person's perspective as he navigates to and from the spaceship. You fight Necromorphs and you struggle with your psychosis, and as you explore areas on the station through a chapter-based narrative, you will solve environmental puzzles, finding ammunition to slay the Necromorphs even though it's scarce, and a different equipment upgrades to survive. Isaac wields engineering equipment as well as weapons, and that's pretty much the gameplay plot of the Dead Space original. But let's get into my thoughts about the game. Dead Space is visually pleasing to the eyes, with the graphics being far superior than games of its late predecessor of that type of year when the game came out. I would say it's truly ahead of its time in that era. That's the word I was looking for. But not sure if it's because of the Xbox enhanced features of the One X, but nevertheless, I was impressed. I thought I was going to witness some muddy visuals and hard to read text, but surprisingly, I had clear, bright visuals, clean, smooth gameplay, and there was some instances of text where it was a bit blurry, but it wasn't like I couldn't read what was written. The loading time of the game wasn't as bad either for the time period that the game came out in. Either that or the Xbox enchanted features predominantly sped the loading time up. Nevertheless, I was pretty happy to see few loading screens and loading time, with it being like seconds to none between going through different corridors or various levels. The game is around 12 chapters, and it took me around 11 to 12 hours to complete the game. So you take it away about an hour a chapter. The performance was smooth. I never crashed. I never experienced a glitch, which I hope I wouldn't, considering I played this in fucking 2021. It's an old as fuck game, but let's keep it going. The scary factor was depth there, as I did jump a bunch of times during the game's frantic jump scares, and I even had a bit of anxiety during one of the encounters that I won't spoil in this review. You can always catch me live on Twitch, huskwebby.tv/shameless plug. There's various weapons that you can carry, such as laser pistols to a bugsaw ripper, a pulse rifle, and many more different varieties of an arsenal. I did feel completed, and I felt like I had the different tools and weapons I needed to defeat various mobs and do the ultimate test of the game, which is survive and destroy the boss in the boss fights. There was a few times, honestly, that I felt that the game was kind of bullshit, but I'm not going to tear into it too much. It's just mainly of my own personal preference, like when you're fighting not a boss, but Spoiler here, there's a monster that you can't defeat at all until later in the game, and I just thought that was like an old outdated mechanic. But nevertheless, each boss fight did truly feel unique, and it had its own charm. And there's an example of a boss where you have to actually get on a turret and play what you would assume to be, or what one would assume to be, a Galaga or an Asteroids type minigame, and then you defeat the boss. And then you later encounter that boss and you beat the shit out of him with your weapons. It's pretty fucking cool. Um, there's upgrades for your suit of armor, and there's different skill trees and various varieties for you to upgrade to your own unique playstyle. Overall, Dead Space is spooky, clever, and horrifying, all in one unique package. And if you're new to the series like myself and you love some good old survival horror from back in the day, not survival horror nowadays, then I highly suggest giving this one a shot. We here at NGI give Dead Space a 9 out of 10. Make sure you stay up to date with all the latest in gaming tech news and reviews. Smash that like, and as always, subscribe. God bless and peace.